My name's Christian. In 1985, my nickname became Christ. In the late 80s, I invented the Christ Air. And you would think that somebody would tell me, don't you see that God's trying to get your attention here?
Rising out of the backyard pools and skate parks of Southern California, skateboarder Christian Hosoi had it all. He had fame.
He was a rock star in the 80s, just straight out rock star.
Fortune.
When he was in 8th grade, he was pulling down $2,000 a month in sponsorship.
And the style, charisma, and athletic ability to back it all up.
He's just an amazing man and an amazing skater.
If Tony Hawk is the skateboarding icon, Christian Hosoi is the legend.
Quite possibly, for me, the best skater that has ever walked planet Earth.
A sports superstar, Christian ultimately plunged into a world where there was no hope, no purpose, only the relentless search for satisfaction.
I couldn't find it in success. I couldn't find it in money. I couldn't find it in girls and relationships. I couldn't find it in business. And then finally, I couldn't find it in drugs. I couldn't find it in partying. Finally, I found it in prison.
Just ahead, a skateboard superstar behind bars, how he got in and why he got out.
When I came from freedom to prison, it was like I came from prison to freedom.
And later, China Phillips.
It just didn't seem fair. I was searching for God for so long. 19 years I had been searching for God. Why did it take so long? And why now?
The Grammy-nominated artist, revealing why her life is finally in perfect harmony. Plus, actor Stephen Baldwin.
Didn't commit any crimes that anyone was able to convict.
He's the only person who really makes me laugh.
Once referred to as the Michael Jordan of skateboarding, Christian Hosoi's reputation for vert skating, for getting big air, launched him from the parks and pools of Southern California into a rock star lifestyle.
When he walked into a bar, a club, you know, it usually was Christian and the entourage.
He was named for Fletcher Christian, the famed mutineer, but as a child, Christian Hosoi was anything but a rebel.
He was so perfect, we thought there was something abnormal. No sweets, he didn't cry for sweets, ate anything you gave him.
Born in Los Angeles, Christian eventually moved to Hawaii with his father, where for his 6th birthday, he received a set of skateboard wheels.
And so I said, well, I'll make him a board. I was making surfboards.
That's pretty much the first time that I really got a kick out of it, was bombing the hill in front of our house and getting the speed wobbles.
Father and son eventually returned to California, where Christian's dad took a job as manager of a skate park. By the time Christian was 12, he was the top amateur in the nation. At 14, he turned pro.
Basically, any magazine you'd pick up was either Christian on the cover or an interview, or, you know, there was really nothing without him in it.
Fans who revered him as godlike nicknamed Christian Christ, and his signature trick, Christ Air, was invented to mirror Christ on the cross.
Well, he didn't have to stand in line to get in a club. You know, they just undid the red rope and ushered him right in, and anybody that was with him.
Pulling in $250,000 a year backed a rock star lifestyle and confirmed Christian's celebrity status.
Hey dude, come on back here. See that dude right there?
Stephen Baldwin had just arrived on the West Coast from New York, a world away from California skate parks, when he first encountered Christian at a Hollywood party.
Right there, and there's this guy sitting with his hair down to his shoulders on the floor, like on a beanbag, and like all these girls are around him. Dude, that's Christian Hosoi. I'll never forget, like, you know, like the first time I saw him, like I was like I went, wow, who's Christian Hosoi?
He was larger than life. He was the rock and roll in skateboarding. There was no one like him.
Perhaps a sign of what lay ahead, Christian entered into a series of failed business ventures. But when the focus of skateboarding shifted from vert to street style in the late 80s, the bottom dropped out for a generation of athletes.
We literally woke up one day and it was over. It was gone.
Though he continued to skate, Christian was hopelessly lost, eventually seeking a new source of satisfaction in drugs.
My addiction was to use crystal meth. I wasn't a drug dealer. I didn't want money. I didn't need money. Ultimately, I wanted to party.
In January 2000, in exchange for his share of the goods, Christian agreed to traffic 1.5 pounds of crystal methamphetamine from California to Hawaii. At the airport, Christian was arrested for possession with the intent to distribute, a crime that carried a 10-year prison sentence. He was 32 years old.
I had a little TV and I came home and I watched the news. And it says, skateboarder, professional skateboarder, world champion, arrested at International Airport, Honolulu. And I went, oh no. Heard it on the news.
There was no more strings. It was done. All the lines were cut. The key is thrown away. It's time to wake up, Christian. Face the music. This is what you have to deal with. Now, how are you going to deal with it?
I just told him that he needs to get a Bible and we need to have faith in God, that's the only thing that's going to get us through this time.
We just got to trust in God. I was like, God, I need a lawyer, babe.
One of the first people he spoke to from behind bars was Jennifer, who at the time was Christian's girlfriend.
I was like at that point where I didn't even want to live anymore.
A few weeks later, Jennifer's uncle, a church pastor, called, and with Jennifer on the other line, he offered Christian a way out of his despair.
You really need, more than a lawyer, is a savior. And I asked Christian, you know, have you ever met Jesus Christ as your savior?
And he was telling us these things as we were sitting there on the phone, and I was like, I want this, and we were crying, we were bawling our eyes out, and all I remember is just asking Jesus to come in. Sometimes we have to hit rock bottom to finally look up and say, look, I'm at the bottom, I can't go any farther. And you look, the only place to look is look up, and you know, the only person that's up is Jesus Christ, you know. Even though I was in prison, it was like I was the freest man in the world. When I came from freedom to prison, it was like I came from prison to freedom.
Christian and Jennifer were married while he was an inmate at a California prison. There he earned his high school diploma and the trust of a federal judge, who reduced Christian's 10-year sentence by more than half.
You know, right there, it was like the stone rolled away.
After serving 4.5 years, Christian was released from prison in June 2004. He spends time with Rhythm, his son from a previous relationship. And together with his wife's uncle Chris, Christian is organizing a skate night for at-risk kids in an inner-city neighborhood. He was recently ordained as associate pastor of an Orange County, California church.
I mean, I'm a professional skateboarder. I've accomplished a lot of things, and I've gotten a lot of glory and a lot of fame, but nothing compares to being a child of God.
Christian is also skating professionally again and combining his passion for skateboarding and God by teaming with Living It, the skate ministry of his friends Luis Palau and Stephen Baldwin.
That's the difference between who I was then and who I am today.
This guy is hardcore, sold out, on fire for Jesus Christ, and he skateboards. That's the miracle working of God, that he can take a guy like me, basically a pro skater that became a drug addict, and turn his life around. You know, for me, that's the evidence that God is so real, is that he changed my heart. He changed my mind. He changed my life.